Hi everyone, welcome back to the Airing Austin YouTube channel. My name is Austin, and today we're going to be talking about House of the Dragons, Season 1, Episode 5. We are already halfway through the first season. I think there's going to be a huge time skip. Also, I know that this review is a little bit late. I just moved this last weekend, and so now you guys are aware, and now let's go ahead and get on with this kind of, I don't even know what to call this, like a review, a reaction, a breakdown. And as you guys can see, I have little Rayquaza next to me because he is a dragon-type Pokemon. We're talking about a dragon show, so thought it was fitting. Okay, so this episode started out with Daemon killing his wife. It's like, oh hey, good to meet you, and you're gone. And one thing that I really liked about that whole conversation between Daemon and his now late wife was the fact that they brought up the sheeps again, because before Daemon was like, yeah, the sheeps are prettier. So we're kind of learning what Daemon is into. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra is still out there playing the whole dating game. She's like, all right, Dad, just set me up with Sir Rhaenyra, and I guess we'll unite House Valor and Baylor, one of those names. We'll unite that house and House Targaryen because they're kind of like the OG houses. Despite that, Sir Rhaenyra is not into women, much preferring of cute ginger dudes. If I had to give Rhaenyra a type, I would say that he's into the faceless men. Get it? His boyfriend didn't have a face at the end of the episode. Sir Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra, they end up getting together by the end of the episode, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're clearly not, made for each other. And Rhaenyra's like, hey, you go and mess around with whoever you want, and then I'll go ahead and mess around with whoever I want. And then, fair's fair, right? What could go wrong? Point being, both of their side things, they kind of come together at their wedding, and one of them is like, hey, I know Rhaenyra's secret, and now you know Sir Rhaenyra's secret, and I think that, we can, kind of blackmail each other. And so Sir Criston Cole is just like, excuse me, sir? And so that's what leads to Sir Criston Cole punching someone's face off. It's not a Game of Thrones wedding unless if there's one person dying. And so by the end of the episode, you just feel bad and helpless for what Sir Criston Cole is going through, because he gave up essentially all of his, I guess, knightlyhood to be with Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra's like, hey, I'm not gonna run away with you. I'm gonna go do this. Dude's just on his knees, about to hold a dagger into his gut, and then the queen comes rushing out like, wait, boom. The episode just kind of cuts there. What'd she say? What's happening? Are they plotting to do something? Because Alicent, this whole episode, she was playing the Game of Thrones, I think, fairly well for someone who's more so new at it than most other people, most other characters. I've been saying for the longest time, Alicent needs to step up, and I think she did that in this episode, where she wore the color green to the wedding. She showed up late to the wedding. She didn't care. Rhaenyra lied to her face. She found out about Sir Criston Cole because he's like, yeah, okay, I'm so sorry, queen. You found out, it's me, blah, blah, blah. It's all me. Dude freaking sung like a bird to the queen when they weren't even talking about Sir Criston Cole and what he did with Rhaenyra. She was more so, I think, worried about Rhaenyra's uncle and kind of what they were doing in the brothel and all of that. Sir Criston Cole had a lot to get off his chest. If anyone's gonna be a therapist in your life, it should not be a queen. Especially one from Renaissance medieval times. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra is still continuing to falter as a character for me. Not in the sense that she's a bad character, more so in the sense that she's a character that I just don't agree with. You can kind of tell that Rhaenyra is starting to almost enjoy playing the Game of Thrones, but she's also doing it to the point where she doesn't care. That's really costing her the game. She's really falling behind, and I think that she needs to start playing just a tad bit smarter, to the point to where it's if she weren't a Targaryen, I'm pretty sure Rhaenyra would either be dead at this point or in a prison cell, or she'd lose everything that she wanted. Without her Targaryen last name, I think it would be game over for her. I think that might actually be my issue with Rhaenyra. She seemed a lot smarter in the first 3 episodes, whereas now she's kind of written Season 8 Tyrion. That being said, I do not want to give up completely on Rhaenyra. I hope that she kind of becomes a more intriguing character, maybe someone who thinks things out just a little bit more. This decision might hurt, I don't know, Sir Criston Cole, and it might lead to another situation at the end of this episode where he's about to take his life, and now the queen is probably going to be using him as a pawn. I mean, what choice does she have? Her father's gone, and he got kicked out by the king last episode. The guy with the twisted foot, I think that's the son of the Hand of the King, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but that guy who she was talking to, she was getting all of her information from him. And I think that those two are going to become like a really powerful dynamic, which is something really cool about this kind of storytelling. Like someone who is powerless, like a disability in some sort of fashion, they end up becoming one of the more stronger characters just by, you know, knowledge alone, which I'm going to say again, makes for just great writing. God, I miss Tyrion. I miss Tyrion so much pre-season 7 and 8. Also, holy cow, the king is not looking so good. I think that the filmmaker came out and said that's not grayscale, that it's something kind of pretty boring. Like, I think leprosy, maybe. It mainly affects the skin, eyes, nose, and peripheral nerves. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess he has leprosy. Either way, king's not looking too hot. So yeah, everyone's just really dissing the king right now. Even Corlys is like, hey, I know I'm supposed to meet the king outside. That's the respectful thing to do, but just not going to do that today. No, you can come inside and talk to me, and if you have some kind of proposal for me, which the king obviously had a proposal with the whole, you know, with the whole pawning off his daughter for marriage with Corlys's son, Sir Rhaenyra. And so, I mean, and in that scene, that's kind of like where they're laying out like the fine print. It's like, all right, well, I see here that you want someone with the name Targaryen in the Iron Throne. It's like, oh yes, let's just dot the I's, dash the T's, and I think that this looks pretty good to me. All right, yes, we are all in agreement. This marriage proposal works for us. And yeah, I mean, overall, it was a really good episode. I think I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the last episode. And I think that this one might be my favorite episode to date, despite Rhaenyra being such a lackluster character recently. I'm still a little upset about that, but I mean, we'll see. We're about halfway through the show, so Rhaenyra has plenty of time to kind of pick herself back up and start taking things a little bit more seriously. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the episode. What did you guys think about the episode? Let me know down in the comments below. So yeah, I guess that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below. The engagement really does help. And also, if you guys want to help out the channel even more, we are trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you guys want to subscribe and check out what's going on, honestly, I'm just really making content that I love, content that I hope others really find entertainment and value out of. Yeah, and also if you guys want to see any kind of content, let me know. Maybe I can spark some ideas off of what you guys say. I think that'd be really fun. Really looking forward to interacting with you guys in the comments below and all that. Okay, and so with all that out of the way, I will go ahead and see you guys in the next one.